Hello friends, today I'm going to show you how to clean the oil in the aperture blades in one of the best lenses ever made out there, and that's the Micro-Nikkor 55mm f2.8. And then this lens, although fantastic, has two common problems. One is the focusing ring, which is completely blocked. I will be making a video on that soon because I have one lens waiting for that. And then the second and most common problem is the oil in the aperture blades. So as you can see here, just let me zoom. Okay, where are my lights? Okay, now I have my lights, and then you see there's a crazy amount of oil in those aperture blades. So I'm going to show you how to clean this. It's rather easy. You just simply need to pay special attention and then listen carefully to what I have to say. Okay, so first thing, this lens has an issue, especially the older models. So the lower serial numbers, and they have the screws here are super tight, and then I think at the time they were using some epoxy glue for the screws, and they're really super tight. And then I have seen many times the screw heads completely destroyed, and then once you get that, you're pretty much done with your lens. Okay, so this is the first thing you need to put attention into. So and then on the 6 lenses I have waiting to clean the oil in the aperture blades, I did exactly the same thing in all of them. Is I took some nail polisher remover here, and then I drip it a bit here, paying attention not to touch the plastic, because these nail polisher removers have some acetone on it, and then acetone and plastic are not very good friends. So drip it once, twice, thrice, wait for about 5 minutes, and then instead of using a small screwdriver like this, just let me zoom back, like this one, in which you have very little grip. Well, now it's untitled, so I can do it, but originally I cannot. So what you should do is you take your G screwdriver, J0, and then I use just the head of the thing, here the J0, and then I have one of these sets you buy with the G screws. Usually have adapters from the small screwdriver here to a big one. So this is the thing. This is the thing you should look for. And then here I have a thru screwdriver, so I have a very good grip here. So and then I push with my screwdriver really hard into the screw head, and then I twist, and this way I'm able to untighten the screws without damaging the heads. So this is the very first thing you need to be really careful about, otherwise your repair risk to stop immediately at this point. So once you get the screws, remove it, well, at least untighten. So the next thing you should do is to remove the screws here, and then before making anything else, we'll come here to the infinite position, and then we'll make sure we stay at that point. I'll explain you why. Okay, so now here we can remove the bayonet here. So quite standard bayonet. It has some grease too, so we'll be cleaning that. So it probably means this lens is full of grease, like everywhere. It's okay, not a big deal. We're going to clean that, but the most important thing here is just to clean the bayonet. Okay, so here we can still move it, no problem. So, and then how this lens works. So this lens has what Nikon calls CRC, which stands for close range correction, and then here you have the motion of the main of the whole optical block here, so which moves back and forth, and then here on the inside, I will show you that just after, and you have a small guiding here, and then a small pin that goes into the lens, and then that moves some elements inside of the optics. So you have a second helicoil inside of the lens. So this means you have a lot of things which have grease inside, especially inside the lens, and then this is why this lens tends to get a lot of oil and then have this as a common problem. But as you will see, it's a rather simple thing to clean. Okay, so I will say infinite here, then the optical block is held by 3 screws here. So now I'm going to get them loose. Okay, once again, the screws in this lens are all of them, they're really tight. Well, there is even a point of glue here. So I take a G000 screwdriver, yeah, 000, the small one, and then again a big screwdriver, so I can put really force into the screw, and then I avoid damaging the screw head. Okay, and then okay, yeah, and then the last one. No. Okay, you probably don't see it, but I am pushing really hard with my weight, and then I am twisting at the same time just to make sure the screw, yeah, the screw shape here stays into the slot and then doesn't move, because this is when you destroy the screw heads, is when you're twisting and then it goes up and then you push again, so it deforms. So I was telling you, so you get the screws loose, and then here once you remove them, so let me pick the screw here, then we take the other screws here. Okay, so we have taken the 3 screws. Let's remove them. So 2 and 3. I make sure I still an infinity, which is the 10, and then now I can remove okay, yeah, so here I can remove the complete optical assembly of the lens. And then here, this is what I was telling you just before. You have this thing here which rotates thanks to this slot here. This slot here, and then here this is what and then this moves an helicoil which is inside here, and then you have another set of lenses moving inside here. So this is how the CRC mechanism works in this lens particularly. And then so I just want to make sure this thing is at the right position, so I'm going to scratch one mark here, just to be sure that if for some reason this thing moves, I will know how to go back to that position. Okay, so I scrap it here, so it's looking good. Then okay, and then we're going to separate this element here. So here we have the aperture blade, or the aperture mechanism, which is super hard, and as you can see there's a crazy amount of oil there. So I move this slightly, and then here there's 3 screws. Then I will take no risk, I will go directly with my big screwdriver just to get them loose. Second, and then the third. Okay, and then I can proceed with the most standard screwdriver. Okay, so here. Second, then last one, and then here I can remove this, which is the mechanism with the aperture blades, and then the rest of the lens. There's some oil here, so we're going to clean that too, but this is the point we wanted to reach. And then, if I am not wrong, this mechanism actually disassembles here from the back, so I need to no, it is actually this way. And then I think if I remove this screw here, just let me zoom, I should be able to get it loose. Then I take this screw here, and then if I am not wrong, I should be able to move this. there's a second hidden screw here. Okay, we check if there's no more hidden screws. Doesn't seem to be the case. Then we need to remove this spring here. Okay, yeah, we get the spring loose, and then yeah, we get the aperture mechanism, which is full of oil here. Yeah, there is oil like everywhere, even here on this lens here that we're going to clean after. But then we reach the point we wanted to reach, which is the diaphragm. So now what we're going to do is to go and get the cleaning stuff, and then we're going to disassemble this and do the clean. So we'll go and fetch the cleaning stuff, and then we meet for the cleaning. So see you in a few seconds. I am back. I got ready what I need to clean this oily diaphragm. Then things are rather simple, and what I need is just some lighter fluid, but then gasoline or barbecue gas does the trick. Well, anything that dissolves grease does the trick, so don't worry about that. Then I got here some cotton swabs. Well, I have quite actually a few here, just to do the cleaning, and then some toilet paper, because there is so much oil everywhere that yeah, I need the toilet paper to start the removal. And as you can see, there is some traces, is because I already started here removing the oil in the parts of least interest to us. So now here I have the diaphragm. So I realize that actually the thing supposed to stay here when you remove it, but then there is so much oil that yeah, everything was stick here. So what I'm going to do is I took this small cap of a bottle, and then what we're going to do is just to wash that. So just probably let me zoom so you can see what I'm doing. I'm not going to do all the process, but then as you can see, things started already falling. Come on. Remove more easily. Okay, and then here we're just going to wash them to remove all the oil that is inside. And then this part here too. I'm just going to rub it with some gas, so yeah, we get rid of all that nasty oil. So then with the toilet paper I just come and dry this. And then the obvious result is that oil is gone now. As you can see, part is very clean. So I'm going to put this thing aside. Now I'm going to do the same thing with the blades, which are a bit more difficult to handle because they're very small. And then, as you can see, the result is immediate. You have all the oil which is gone. So just probably. Okay, I am at the maximum actually. So what I'm going to do is just to get this thing close to you so you can see it. Now that they are clean, so you see. Okay, but I'm not very good handling these tweezers. Okay, so this is the thing. So what I'm going to do now is just to finish clean the other ones. I'm going to fast forward the video so you don't get bored just by watching me just washing these things. Okay, I got all the aperture blades clean, as you just saw. Then there's one last thing we need to clean, and that is this lens here. That it has a lot of projections of oil, I guess. And then to do so, we're going to do the classical optical cleaning that I do. And then with that, to do that, I use isopropyl alcohol for the first step. Then optical cleaning fluid that I always show. I use this one, but you can use whatever you want. And then and then the optical cleaning paper here. I have this brand. I have it for a long time, but then same thing, and you can use whatever you want, and just don't take the cheapest one because you risk of scratching your lens. So probably you know this, but then I have here the toilet paper I use to clean the oil. I wouldn't never use this toilet paper, and then never use toilet paper or other paper unless you're sure it's optical cleaning paper, because there is some fibers here that might scratch your lens, so pay special attention to that. Okay, so I'm back here, so next thing I need to do is just to put just smelling, because I have the same bottle for the nail polish removal. Okay, so and then I put here a bit of isopropyl alcohol, then I come, I move around the paper so I can get that lens clean. There's a lot of traces I see. You probably cannot see it, I'm able to see them, so yeah. But then yeah, the lens looks good now. So that's the first step for the cleaning. Then I always like to do 2 steps, just to be sure that everything is well clean. And then to do so, I take a new piece of paper. Then this time I put optical cleaning fluid here. So, and then here I come and then I rub this stick, which is a bit too big, so I'm going to use one of the cotton swabs just to move the paper around, make sure it goes everywhere on the lens surface. And then once done, yeah, I am done. The lens looks rather clean, so we're going to put this aside and save it for the assembly. Then I have the other parts clean, so we're going to start installing the diaphragm. So one thing you need to know is the usual rule of thumb is that the aperture blades need to be mounted in a sense which is counterclockwise, yeah, from your point of view. So here I'm moving counterclockwise. Okay, so I'm going to put this, I'm going to fast forward again, so you see the process, and then I will stop whenever I think it is necessary to show you something important. Okay, so and here we have the last one, which is always the tricky one to put, because this one needs to go below the first one and the second one, obviously. So I'm not sure about the direction of this. Okay, so I got it. I got the first one off position, which is not a good thing. And then I hope I am not far away. it. So I got them in position. Now I have to make sure that there, well, line, and then to do so, I just need to make sure that all of them get into the cam here. So you have this small cam here, and then what I just did, I just put, you have all these small pins here that come up, and then I just put, and then I reach a position until all of them got into the cam, and then once you get to that point, it is quite easy. As you can see, they all follow the motion of the cam, and then we were lucky, we got it in the right position the first shot. And then, as I told you, the most important thing is to assemble the blades in a counterclockwise sense from your point of view. Okay, now we're going to put this thing here, which is the... Okay, I had to restart this part because I had some trouble assembling this element here, and then the mistake was a very simple one. What I was doing is that you have this small lever here. Just let me make it visible. You have this lever here that moves in this way, and then I was having it in this position, like the outermost position you can reach with it, and then when I was putting the thing in, it was blocking with this small slant here. So the thing you need to do, it took me some time to realize this, and you need to put this thing in this way, and then when you come here, you need to make sure you're centered. Okay, now I am centered. I put the screw here just to make sure everything holds together. Now, second screw. Oh, sometimes these really small things are rather difficult to handle. Okay, just go in position and stop annoying me, stupid screw. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so I have this. I am in the right position. I am centered. And this is opening quite well. And then what you need to do now, just to make sure everything will work nicely later, is you move this lever again to the furthest position. Okay, I will explain you. And then you come here with the cam, you put it in, and then you can come here, put this thing again in position. So what this thing does is, this cam does, is when you move this thing here, which is connected to the aperture ring, you will get the position of the diaphragm. Okay, so this is the thing, and then here you have on the screw part, you have a small slot here that you can play with in the position, in the relative position here, so you get the maximum aperture of the diaphragm. So now here, if we put the spring, you will see the thing actually at work. So we get the spring, then I hold it with my finger on one side, just in case it jumps somewhere, and then we lost the spring. Okay, so now we have the spring in position. and then this is the thing, this is how it works. So here you open the aperture and you move the aperture ring so it stays in permanent position, and here this is the shutter. Yeah, this is the lever that connects to the camera and moves the shutter. Okay, so I see that I'm not 100% open in this position, so what I'm going to do is to, with the screws, as I just mentioned to you, I'm just going to move to this further position, then I tighten again, and then the expected result is that now when I go to this position I have the diaphragm which is fully open. So okay, this is this was the essentially the repair we wanted to do. Now I'm going to reassemble the lens. So let's do a small pause and then meet in a few seconds. Okay, now we're going to finish the assembly of the lens. So we take the bottom optical assembly. If you remember correctly, we have this ring here with this small extrusion here, and then this one is the one that connects to the body here in this slot to make the CRC, so the close range correction. And then okay, so now we mark this, we're in position now to put the top part of the optical assembly. And there is one indication here. You have this screw here that you see here that goes aligned with this with the position of this ring at infinity. So now what we do is we put them aligned, and then regarding the holes, yeah, I'm in position. I just have to move a little bit just to be perfectly aligned with the screws. Now I put the screws, so we can say we're over with the optical assembly, and then we fix what we wanted, which was removing all that nasty oil of the diaphragm. Okay, first thing, so optical assembly is all together again. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to close entirely the diaphragm. Here the body is at f32, which is the smallest position. I stayed at infinity. And then here to put the optical assembly into the body, you have this screw here, and then you have this small slot here, and then they must match. So first thing, I enter a bit tilted until I am in, I have this small arm here into this fork, which is the one that connects to the aperture lever, to the aperture ring, and then here just I usually need to wiggle a bit. Here I was super lucky, I got immediately in position, and then here next thing we have to do is just to put the screws here, just this is probably the most annoying part, because the screws are just slightly magnetic, so they are not very easy to hold. Okay, here we are on the right way. We have the last screw to fix the optical assembly, and then here you have small slots here for the screws, and then I think this thing is just to play a bit with the infinite position, just to get it perfectly on spot. We didn't move it at all, so it shouldn't be a problem. But then it's good to know we have this small possibility to wiggle this assembly a bit with respect to the screws, so we can get the infinite at the right position. Now we put the bayonet, which is the last element of the assembly. We put the screws which are not magnetic, so this is a bit annoying. So we have to hold them by hand. Last screw, and then we will be done. Okay, now last screw, and then as you can see, let's put it here so we can see a comparison with the before. Just let me clean this lens because it's a bit nasty. So here you have a perfect diaphragm, not the thing we had before, which was just a disaster. And then now we have fixed it, have a perfectly working Micro-Nikkor 55 f2.8, which is one of the best lenses out there, and I think it will be for a really long time. And then if you want to know all, I paid some $20 for this lens because it was full of oil at the diaphragm. So this is all I wanted to show you today. Thanks for watching and see you next time.